Okay, so we are working on finishing our KWOs for the Bedouin people. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the Tuareg. We're starting with C. So this one on page 157, and this is going to be Article C. So you can put I can't remember if we did that part yet, but go ahead and put a C at the top like that. Remember, C goes with C. So whatever we find here in this article goes here in that outline, okay? They connect. And then, like we did before, I want you to circle the word Bedouin in the first sentence. It's right there. And then I want you to circle the word Tuareg. It's the first word in the second paragraph right there. And we're still focusing only on the Bedouin people. So we're not going to read the second paragraph yet. We're going to focus on just the Bedouin people first, okay? And we're going to do this together because I want you to underline the same things I'm underlining. And then we'll work on the KWO together this time. Okay, here I go. One of the nomadic groups in the Sahara Desert is called the Bedouin. We already have that information, so I'm not going to underline anything yet. I'm looking for something new and different. Okay. Some of the people now drill for water in the desert, but others have to stay 40 miles away from the nearest source of water. That's different. I'm going to underline people now drill for water.
Wait, did you say drill?
I did say drill. So and it doesn't really tell us if they have a machine or if they have like a hand drill type thing. It doesn't really say, but you know, there's a what they call a water table under the dirt, under the earth. Have you guys studied that kind of science before? Like different layers of the earth. When you dig down there, you can find water under the earth, inside the earth. Did you guys know that? Yeah, no? Okay. But someday you'll probably study that in science. But anyway, that's how they find water. So have you ever, I mean, this is kind of well, it's a cool example. How many of you been to the beach before? You ever been to the beach? Probably everybody, because we live in California, so we're close. If you are sitting with your family on the sand, but you're kind of far from the ocean, you know, you're kind of back. If you dig, have you ever tried that before? Dig even way back there. If you start digging, you're going to eventually see water underground if you dig
How
on
far?
the beach.
We went to a beach for one of my school trips and we made like a tunnel, but how far do you have to dig down?
I think your microphone is turned up, or I can't really hear you too well.
How far do you have to turn down to
How
dig
far
down?
down? Well, probably in the desert pretty far, but at the beach, not that far, maybe like a foot, 12 inches or more. But these guys, to find water in the middle of the desert, they probably have to dig pretty far. I would say several feet. Anyway, that's how they find water. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. A few households have solar refrigerators that their camels carry during journeys. Okay, that's kind of cool and crazy. Do you know solar is powered by the sun, right? So it has to have like a panel. Does anybody have solar panels on your house? That's kind of yeah, some of you, yes, I don't, but I know what those are. Go ahead and underline solar refrigerators and then camels carry. Poor camels. But I have a feeling these refrigerators aren't like the ones we have in our kitchen right now, because that would be huge for a camel to carry, right? Maybe they're little refrigerators. Maybe they're
Well,
like
actually,
small ones.
even if a camel were to carry that, it would make sense because if they're traveling in the desert, they wouldn't have anywhere to plug it in.
Well, it's solar though. So a solar refrigerator
True.
means you don't have to have power. You can,
You have
it's
to have the sun.
the sun, and the desert has lots of sunshine. So actually it kind of makes sense. So these panels, so the camel probably has to carry the solar panel and the refrigerator, unless the refrigerator already has it on there. I've never seen these before. So anyway, interesting, kind of cool. I'm going to keep going. A refrigerator is important for storing vaccines. And I thought they would put their milk in there. But they probably just drink the milk as soon as they milk the goat. They probably just drink it warm. But the vaccines, those are like shots that protect mostly the animals from diseases. I don't think they carry vaccines for themselves,
Only
but
the doctors have those, I
yeah,
think.
the doctors have those. But like me, I have farm animals, and sometimes I can't give them vaccines though, because I'm not a vet, but I do give them shots of different things, different antibiotics and medication and stuff. If they get sick, if they get hurt, something's wrong. So vaccines though are what they keep in the refrigerator, so it keeps them from expiring.
The definition of me not liking it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It
I don't like
hurts.
giving them either. It's hard to do, but
Yeah, but I don't like getting them. They hurt
yeah,
really
I don't like
bad.
getting them either. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to keep going. The Bedouin earn money by selling or trading their animals in towns. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to wait on that though, because we already have two things. Then they obtain coffee, rice, and other foods that the desert cannot provide. Ah, I'm going to keep going. The Bedouin are able to use the wool and skin from their goats to make their own clothes and bags and sandals. Okay, I kind of think that's interesting. I'm going to underline wool and skin from their goats, clothes, bags, and sandals. Since the 1950s, some of the Bedouin have been moving to cities moving to cities because they want benefits such as better health care, higher paying jobs, and education for their children. So some move into the cities, and then they're just regular city people. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3 things. I think that's probably good. We only really need 3. So I'm going to stick with that. Okay. Now, C goes with C here. And the first fact that we underline is that people drill for water in the desert. I'm going to put that. I'm going to put drill, water, and desert.
Uh, I have to go. I was just
Okay.
letting you know so you're like, where do you go this time?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Tyler. Have a good
Yep.
day. I'll see you next week.
Alright, bye.
Bye. I have such bad allergies. Sorry for blowing my nose. And the next one we underlined was solar refrigerators, and the camels carry those. So I'm going to put solar and then refrigerators. I'm going to put the word vaccines in there too. Because that's really, it sounds like that's what they used these refrigerators for mostly is the vaccines. And then wool and skin from their goats to make clothes, bags, and sandals. So I'm going to put, it's kind of weird that they said wool, because wool is on sheep, not goats. That bothered me. I was like, why are they saying wool about their goats? But maybe they have different types of goats than we have here in America. Maybe they do have more like a wool type hair. I don't really know. Okay. So let's put, I'm just going to put skin. I guess we could put wool. Let's put wool. Wool, skin, goats. And then I'm going to draw a t-shirt. You probably will be better at this than me. Let's see. It goes like that, and then it goes, oh, that's not too bad. Okay, sometimes I surprise myself. You guys see that? Draw a t-shirt or a dress or some kind of clothes, okay, representing clothes. And then a bag, I'm gonna draw like a purse looking thing here with a little thing like that. That's not bad. And then sandals, I'm gonna try to draw like a flip-flop here. Hey, not bad. It's a little turned, it's a little crooked, but I bet you guys are better at drawing all these things than me. But they use the wool and skin from the goats to make clothes, bags or purses, probably bags, and sandals. And that's pretty much what we got from that article. Okay. Now is when we have to build our fused outline. I want to walk through that with you. So we could add more here, but I'm choosing not to, just to keep this one pretty simple. So I'm just going to keep it at 3 this time for this one. But we've got a lot to choose from. We've got 4 over here for A, we've got 5 for B, and then we've got 3 for C. So what we're going to do now is think about what would make sense as a logical order to put on our fused outline. So remember, fused outline is like gluing together. We're going to take a little bit from A, a little bit from B, a little bit from C, and we're going to mash them together in the fused. And they don't have to be like, you can mix them up. Okay, so you're just going to look at what you have up here. And you got to think logically, though, about a logical order. When I say logical, I just mean like it makes sense. Like, for instance, it makes sense to me to define what a nomad is, right? To start with that, so that whoever's reading your paragraph knows what you're talking about. So I think right here under A, number 1, and I'm going to circle it. I like to circle it. And then I know that I'm copying that one, and then I'm going to cross it out. So it says nomad, move, place, arrow, P, place to place, right? So I'm going to copy it here on my fused, exactly how we have it. Nomad, move, place, arrow, and then a P, meaning place, because we ran out of words to use. Okay. Now that I copied it, I'm going to cross it out. We'll come up with a word for this spot right here in a minute, but let's keep going. Anybody have any ideas what would make sense to talk about next in your outline? You can look at A, B, and C. What do you see there? Does anybody have any ideas of what fact you want to copy for number 2? Any ideas? Nasiah, what do you think?
B2.
B2, which is they use the stars to guide and travel at night. It sounded like you were playing bingo for a second. Bingo! B2, okay. So I like that. That's how they travel. Let's copy that one. I'm going to circle it first. I'm going to draw my star and guide, travel, night. Cross it out once you copy it. Somebody else, William or Camila, after you're done writing that, what do you think would be good to talk about next? And you can pick anything from A, B, or C.
B5.
B5. Bingo. 160 words for camel. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Anybody else have an idea for the next one? What do you think, William?
C2.
C2, okay, they carry the refrigerators for vaccines. I kind of think before we go into that stuff, maybe we should introduce the camels first. You know what I mean? So maybe we should talk about how they use camels to carry their possessions, and then we talk about the solar refrigerators. Or no, you said you liked 160 words for camel too. I like that too. But I kind of feel like we need to go with B3 next. How they carry the possessions, and then how they have words for camel, and then maybe how the camels carry vaccines. Okay, so this is where I'm going to let you guys pick for yourself. I'm going to go with what we've been talking about, but if you want to put a different order here, you get to pick what makes sense to you. I'm going to put next camels. I'm going to put B3. Camels carry possessions. And then I'm going to put, oh, maybe I'll put the solar refrigerators next, because I've already talked about how camels carry things. And that's one of the things they carry. So I'm going to go over here to C2 next. But like I said, you can copy mine or you can do it your own way. Okay, either one. It doesn't matter to me. The point is, you're going to notice how we're taking different facts from A, B, and C and putting it down here. And then this is where I'll put 160 words for camel. For my last one, because I'm looking at what I have here, because there's a lot of different ways you can do this. So if you have different ones, if you talk about the goats, if you're talking about like how they make their tents and things like that, that's fine. For me to end here, I think my last one is going to be how they drill water in the desert for their water. Because the water doesn't, I mean, the desert doesn't have natural water. It doesn't rain. There's no lakes or rivers or things like that in the desert. They have to find their own water by digging. So I'm going to end mine with this one, C1, drill, water, desert. But like I said, there's lots of ways to do this. So you can pick the information you want to pick on yours. The most important thing as you're choosing your facts, though, is to think about how you're going to tie it all together. Because you don't want it to be like one fact and then another fact and then another fact, and it's all these random facts, right? Because then it's going to be weird to read it. It's not going to flow. And I've mentioned that before in your Google Docs. Sometimes I'll say, you know what, this sentence doesn't really flow. How about you try this? And that's what I want you to try to think ahead about, is how are you going to make this flow? So words like, another interesting fact about the Bedouin people is blank. They have 160 words for the word camel. I forgot to put that in quotes here. And you might use words like in addition to, or also, or things like that, where you're connecting different facts together. Does that make sense to you guys? Thumbs up if that makes sense. You understand what I'm trying to say? Good. Okay. So now we need to think of one more word here to add at the top of our topic. This is our topic sentence. We're introducing the Bedouin, and we have Sahara. And in my mind, a word like people would be a good third word to put here, because we're not talking about an animal. We're not talking about a place because people might not know Bedouin. I didn't know that word before. So in my mind, it makes sense to put the word people here. They are, and you can use this by saying something like the Bedouin people live in the Sahara Desert. You can say that as your first sentence. And then they are nomads and they move from place to place. They use the stars to guide them and travel at night or something like that. You get the idea. Okay, you're gonna now, I want you to put a big circle around this fused outline like that. That is the only outline you're going to use for your paragraph. Now you're done with A, B, and C. We already used those. You're going to focus on this only when you go to write your paragraph. And use your checklist. That's super important to use your checklist too. So let's just take a look really quick at the checklist. You guys are getting really good at using this. This is how I grade your stuff. So if you're missing dress ups or you're missing your topic clinchers, you're not going to get 10 points. Each homework assignment is worth 10 points. But if you're missing something, I take off points for that. So make sure you really use this. This up here, the topic clincher is still there. Topic clincher sentences repeat or reflect 2 to 3 key words, and you're going to either highlight or bold, or if you're handwriting it, you could put a box around it. And then you've got your 6 dress up words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have 6 words underlined. Remember to stay away from the banned words. Now, a lot of people, a lot of students, they start by just writing the basic paragraph using this, and then they go back and they go, where can I put a who, which clause? And they go, where can I put an ly adverb? And that's okay if you do it that way. But as you're looking at this, another one of my students said, can I make a note here? If I think of a good dress up to use with these words, can I put it to the side? And I said, yes, I think that's a great idea. So as you're looking at this, you like here, they use the stars to as a guide and they travel at night. This would be a great spot to use the word because. Like I would put over here on the side in parentheses because that's a good spot for a because clause, because it's cooler at night, or because they need the stars to help them, right? They can't just go during the day, you don't see the stars. So they're not sure which way to go. So they need to travel at night so they can use the stars. Maybe here 160 words for camel, that might be a good spot to put like surprisingly, right? Because in English we have one word for camel, it's camel, and they have 160 words for camel. So I'm going to put that word surprisingly here. You get what I'm saying? So as I'm looking at this, I'm already thinking, okay, what other dress up could I use? Maybe here I could use a who clause, right? The nomads who move from place to place, and then I'm going to obviously have something more beyond that. Or you could use a which clause here, the camels which carry possessions also help them move around or something. I don't know. Get what I'm saying here? You guys can think ahead of where you want to use your dress ups. Okay. Any questions about this outline or anything we just talked about so far? Do you guys have any questions? William, go ahead.
On the checklist, the dress up has 2. Does that mean there's 2 paragraphs?
Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. So we're working on just the first paragraph, which is the Bedouin people. And now we're going to start getting ready for the second paragraph. But you're right. This report is only 2 paragraphs long. Does that make sense? So this week, you're just going to focus on the first paragraph, though, okay? Good question. Anybody else have a question? Nope. Okay. So now I want you to turn your outline over and we're going to start building for the Tuareg people. So we're going to set this up like you did before. A goes here. And this time we're going to use a Roman numeral 2 for the second paragraph. You're not going to have to write it this week, but we're going to get ready for it. Okay. So we have Roman numeral 2 and then again 1 through 5. Space them out a little bit so they're not too scrunched together. And then again in the middle for B, Roman numeral 2, 1 through 5. And then C, I'll give you guys time to finish this, so don't worry. And fused outline in the middle. Roman numeral 2 and then 1 through 6, spread them out. That. Okay, thumbs up when you got that. Okay. Okay. Got it, William? You're still working? Okay, I'll give you a second. Okay, while he's finishing that, go back to the first article, which is called Nomadic Peoples of the Sahara Desert. It's on page 153, and you should have an A at the top. We're going to do it again. Got it, William? Okay. This one here, Nomadic People of the Sahara Desert. I erased mine, but you should have an A here, because remember, A goes with A, right? They go together. And this time, we're going to go down here to the second paragraph because we're done learning about the Bedouin people. Now we're going to focus on the Tuareg. Okay, so I'm going to read this paragraph, and then this time, I'm going to let you underline what you think is interesting and important, okay? Remember, you only have to have 3 facts, but you can have more if you find more that you like. Now, as you're underlining, you're probably going to underline more than 3. You can underline more than you need, but then you got to figure out which one is your favorite from those, okay? So I'm going to let you do the underlining by yourself this time. The Tuareg are nomadic people of the Sahara Desert. They travel with their grazing animals across the land. They also have a home where they grow crops. Now that's different than the Bedouin because they don't have a home, but these Tuareg do, where they grow crops. And you know, crops are like big gardens. They grow their vegetables. They are sometimes called blue men because the men wear a blue cloth across their faces and blue robes. Their skin might look blue if the indigo dye rubs off. So that's interesting. Maybe when they get sweaty or something, you know, and the cloth is against their face, it rubs off on their face. That's interesting. They are not a small group. There are about 1 million Tuareg across the Sahara and the Sahelian lands. 1 million, that's a lot. The Sahel is not a desert. It is a region south of the Sahara Desert. The Tuareg travel over plains, and there's more in the back, grasslands, and volcanic mountains, following their animals. Each family lives in its own tent that is named after their mother. After the mother, that's interesting. So they name their tents. So whatever your mom's name is, that's the name of your tent. Some households prefer grass houses. Wealthier families live in dried clay homes called adobe houses. And here's a picture on the back. Not a great picture. It's kind of dark, but you get the idea of how they are dressed with their robes and the cloths over their heads. They're probably to stay out of the sun. And then they have these little tents behind them. So I thought it was interesting that they follow their animals. The Bedouin people use the stars, right? That's how they go. That's the direction they go. They follow the stars. But these people follow their animals, which is weird. So they just kind of go behind their goats, I guess, and their sheep and camels, and they let them lead the way. All right, so going to your outline now. I want you to put in here, because we're talking about the Tuareg, so we're going to put the word Tuareg here next to Roman numeral 2, comma, and then again, Sahara. Oops, there's no extra H on there. It's just Sahara. And they are also called nomadic people, so we know what nomad means. But for this part, we're just going to put Tuareg and then Sahara. And then from here, you're going to start transferring the things that you underlined here. Okay, let me look at the time really quick. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to write down the facts that you underlined, okay? And then we'll talk about that. So go ahead and do that part by yourself. If you need help, let me know. Look at what you underlined and start putting those keywords right here under the Tuareg. Show me on your fingers what number you're on. Which one you're working on? 2, 3. Okay, I see 3. Okay, good. I'll give you another minute. Just finish up the one you're on. Okay, Camila and William, you can keep working. It looks like you're done, Nisaya. Are you finished? Okay, go ahead and read to me what you have for your facts.
Home grow crops. 2 is called, then in parentheses, blue man, stick figure, clothes.
Okay, good.
Then 3, the number 1,000,000, then T for tar, the Targan.
Okay.
Then across Sahara, Saharan lands.
Okay.
And 4, following their animals.
Okay.
5, a little stick figure family. Live a tent named Mothers.
Perfect. I like that. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Like they named their tent, which I don't understand why, but I guess that's special to them. So good. Nice job, Nisaya. How about Camila? What do you have for yours? Oops, you're muted.
Blue man in parentheses.
Okay.
A B, and then I wrote clothes, and then another B, and then robes.
Okay, for B for blue. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And for number 2, I have look, and then and then B in a circle, indigo dye, and then like an off switch.
Oh, that's cute. That's a good idea. Okay.
For 3, I have the number 1,000,000, Sahara, and then Sahelian lands.
Okay.
For 4, I have following animals, and 5, family, and then I drew a little tent, and then named, and then mother.
Okay, good. Nice. Very similar to Nisaya's. How about you, William? What do you have?
Number 1, homeschool crops. 2, 1,000,000. Number Tuareg, Sahel X DSRT, South Sahara.
Okay, good. You got those 3. That's good. All right, so we're going to stop here. Your homework, though, is going to be to write this paragraph. So you don't have to do anything with the Tuareg yet. We'll finish that up next week in class. But your homework this week is to just focus on the first paragraph of your report and make sure you use your checklist and then your grammar. So does anybody have any questions about your homework this week? Nope, you're good? All right, good job today, you guys. Good job. Almost sounded Australian there for a second. Good job today. See you next week. Have a good one.